Okay, back at it tonight. We'll see if we can get this thing playing a little bit better action here. Here's what I'm dealing with. This is on the low E at the nut. It's almost 50 thousandths action at the nut there over the first fret. That's stupid high. I can get that down around 25 to 20. Probably going to shoot for 25 on the high E. Essentially what you want to do is take them down incrementally, like I'd be maybe 25, 22, 20, start getting down around 18, maybe 15 and 12 or so. I'm not sure what the other ones are like, but this one is really high, so we'll work on that one first. Alright, pop the string out and we'll get started. File this down here. And I'll check it off, and because you don't want to overdo it. It didn't come down much. I got a lot more to go. Here we go. This is much better. There you go. I got about 20. So far I've done the E and the A. Let me show you something. You can, let's see, the E and the A are down. Well, it doesn't show up as good on video, but well, maybe it does. See, this is the D string back here. Look how high that is. I almost don't even need that gauge to get started. It's so darn high. That A was almost 50 thousandths high. So I just did an accurate measurement. I got 22 thousandths on the E, and I got 20 thousandths on the A. Alright, the thing to do is you don't follow your own advice when you're working on these things. I said take the nut slow so you don't go too far. Well, I was going too fast with the file. I went too far. I got it down. I was like only 5 thousandths over the fret. I could tell as soon as I plucked the string, the G string was buzzing. So I'm going to fix it. I got another bone, just a scrap nut here. I filed some bone dust with my file, and then I put it in the slot here. And then I'm just going to put a drop of super glue on it here. And then we'll let that dry and I'll recut the slot. Alright, try again. I'll tell you what, that you don't have to do that, but if you do screw it up like I just did, it's a great way to fix a mistake. Now of course I'm just going to be overly cautious going down. Okay, I got him. I forget what I said at the beginning I was shooting for, but what I ended up with was 22, 20, 18, I think this was about 17, and then 15, and this one's about 15. Yeah, 15 and 15. Alright, now that I got all the strings seated the way I got it, or I want them, now look at the nut and see how far down those strings go into the new grooves. We don't want them that deep. Generally you want about half of the string showing, especially for the bigger strings. When you get down to the E and the B, they can go in a little bit, but even those are really sitting down in there. So I'm gonna have to file the top of the nut and take some of that top material off. Okay, I got the nut shaped pretty much the way I want it with the sanding stick. Now it's back to these polishing papers. Just to bring up the polish a little bit. It's so much easier doing it when it's not on the guitar. But that was some pretty major notches that we had to make in the nut. Alright, certainly that does not look half bad. Okay, let's see what we got here. I got the strings back on, and I tuned it. And it certainly feels a lot better down by the nut here. Well, it feels really good by the nut, about halfway up, and then it starts getting high. So let's just see how it affected the action here. Alright, it brought it down to, it looks like it's about 8.5, maybe 9 on the bass. And she's looking just a little under 8 on the treble. So let's take some material off the saddle and just see if we can get that down. While we're at it, let's just check the relief here, see where the relief's at. 7 thousandths. That's good. So let's loosen it up again and get that saddle out and sand the saddle some. I don't know, I got a gut feel that it's going to be fine just by taking a little bit off the saddle, because it doesn't play half bad now. Okay, so let's see, what did I say? I said 8.5, maybe 9 on the bass, and about 8, maybe a little under 8 on the treble. And the rule of thumb is, whatever you want to take the string down at the 12th fret, whatever that distance is, you got to double it off the saddle. So the main thing we want to really adjust is the treble. If we could get that treble down around, even, see, this is getting thin here, so I don't know how much I want to take off, but if I could get it down to 6 64ths, that would be good. So that's it's about 2 64ths we'd have to take off, which is a 32nd, right? So we'd have to take off 2 32nds from the treble end, and that just sounds like a lot to me. But let me measure it out and see how it looks on here. Okay, I made a compromise. I went 1.5 32nds. Put a line on here. 1.5 32nds down by the treble, and then I just kind of angled it slowly, tapered it towards the bass side, and I probably got maybe a 32nd here, probably a little less than a 32nd. So I'll sand this. I'm not going to take it quite down the line. We'll put it in and we'll see what we got. Okay, let's try this. I didn't take it quite to the line. I still have a fairly good amount of saddle. We should have a decent brake angle. We got plenty on the bass side here. It does get kind of thin going down towards the treble side, but we'll see. And we'll string it back up and see what we got. Well, of course, broke a string. And what string do you think we broke? We broke the G string. The G string. And do you know why you break the G string more often than just about any other guitar string? It's because the G string is the thinnest string on the guitar. And you're saying, no, it's not. It's thicker than the B and the E. Well, yes, on the outside, the outer diameter, but the core that they wind the wire around to make it the G is the thinnest core of all the wires, and that's why when you're playing, if you notice, you're gonna more often than not you break your G string. It's a little known fact. All right, everybody. Well, as they say in the movies, it's as good as it gets. I got the bass E down to 8/64, and the treble E, well, we were shooting for 5. There's no way. I'm not going to get it down there. It's 7/64. I don't want to take any more off the bridge here, or off the saddle. I'm just worried that I won't have enough of a brake angle, and then you start causing yourself all other kinds of problems. Because right now, it's sounding great. And really, it feels pretty good. The action really doesn't feel bad at all. Even up here. See? I can bar that, and it's fairly easy to do. So, it's a lot better than it was. It wasn't even playing before. Like I say, it hasn't played in many years. So, we brought it back to life anyway. And as I say, it could use a neck reset, but I don't think it can be reset. It's just too damaged up here. I think if you try and reset that, the top's gonna crack. And you know, just looking over this thing, this must have got dropped, because I see there were some cracks in the back that were fixed, and the neck was definitely taken off. There's a glue line here, and I can see it was kind of refinished over here. So what happened is my brother-in-law gave this to my nephew to take to college in the hopes that he would start playing guitar, and I think it went to a few parties. He really never started playing guitar, and I think it just got abused one night in a party. Somebody either stepped on it or played El Caban with it. But whoever, oh, it's cracked here too. The top is, there's a crack running right down the center of the top, and the top's got a big belly on it. So for all the injuries the poor thing has had in the past, I think we rehabilitated it fairly decently, and it's going to enjoy a nice quiet life down in Florida. It's going to retire. Okay, that's it.